Hi, this is Scott. Welcome back to another Hollinger Team video blog. Question I get a lot is, what are interest rates like? What's the market like? Things like that. So I thought I'd do a little video here on interest rates and maybe some thinking and some strategy in regard to that and in purchasing real estate in the market that we have right now. I subscribe to a service called Keeping Current Matters. KCM, and they basically monitor the real estate market and put out some really good information, really good data. So I thought I'd share some slides with you on that. The first slide here is what's happened over the last year, where interest rates doubled, and certainly a fair amount of pain that's gone with that. And you can see there where it peaked a little just towards the end of last year, and then it started down. So if you look at the trending right now, and this is the next slide that shows how it's gone down a fair amount already, and certainly demand is out there in the market from previous videos that I put out, but the supply is down, and so a lot of buyers have just gone to the sidelines for the time being. And part of that's just listings driven, and that's the next slide is, how much is available right now. And it's an interesting graph that showed how everything was, kind of coming more, we were getting more listings on the market as we went into the year until June last year, and was projected to go up to a nice high level if it would have continued on that trend, but it didn't, because if we go to the next slide, you can see that it plummeted even greater than quite a few past years, and that's really the driving force or reason for the lack of transactions right now. But I can tell you that there's people out there that really want to sell, probably don't need to, but they have something else they want to do, and so there are some great buying opportunities out there, and just the sheer demand from the lack of inventory to try and make up that gap in a short period of time is just not going to happen. The difference between this kind of slowdown in the market and the recession that we had back in the late 2000s was that was driven by highly leveraged mortgages and very, very little equity. And the position that people have now is they've got nice low rate fixed long-term loans and don't need to and don't really want to venture out into lending land. I wanted to share one more slide with you, and this shows you that it's not just Montana, and if you're listening from some other state to this video, you can see what is going on out there in the world as far as the number of homes for sale throughout the United States. It's amazing. And one of the reasons I did a video a long time ago, a fairly long time ago, about the United States creates about 500,000 new households every year. So when you see some of these numbers, you have to take into account that when they dip below just fulfilling the new household demand and recognizing the moving around of people and just the needs of people that are, say, upsizing and downsizing, which is a real need. And I guess that's the next slide that we have. It talks about the dynamics that are keeping the housing inventory historically low, and that's the lock rate loans, and to a degree the fear of not being able to find something else to buy. And that's one of those things where it's a chicken or egg. Do you find something else to buy and then sell, or do you try and sell and then try to find something to buy? It's a balancing act. but the market's going to stay strong for a long time to come, simply because this limited inventory is going to stay this way for a while, and that's what's the other side of it's going to keep forcing prices up, as we've seen. For those that feel like they would like to make some other investments out there, there's some strategies that you can look at as far as lending goes. One of those is take a look at adjustable rate mortgages. They've changed a bunch since when they were written back in the old recession, we'll call it. There's a lot more limits to it. They have things now which are even what we call introductory fixed rate loans, where you get a loan at a fixed rate for a period of time, and then it converts to an adjustable. But there's limits on how much it can adjust in time periods that you have to stay at those rates before they adjust again. So if you sit down and do some good hard math on those, I found that they actually are a very good opportunity. The other thing is you can actually buy the fixed rates down by buying a discount on the interest rate, and sometimes that's a negotiating thing between buyers and sellers, that the seller will add in some money to help buy down a loan for a buyer. And last but not least is owner financing is sometimes an option too, because some people, for example, a seller that doesn't know what they're going to do with their money, when I'm talking with my sellers about that, sometimes I just say, well, if you do owner financing and you keep your money invested in your home, we know that's a strong market. You know the like that it's going to go up in value, and you become more and more secure over the years as you carry the paper on that. Anyhow, hope this was helpful and maybe thought-provoking, and happy to answer questions or strategize with anybody on that. Pass this on to your friends. Please subscribe, and thank you very much for watching Hollinger Team video blog.